Hello everyone, I hope you guys are living long, strong, healthy, and happy. So, originally I didn't want to film this video because I feel like a lot of people addressed this and explained it. But then I realized that there were so many people who talked about this topic. Like, particularly we're going to be talking about the Black Lives Matter movement and just everything that's been going on way before any of this incident, any of this happened. And I feel like it's as though people are not listening or taking this topic as seriously as it's supposed to be. So if I can be that 1% chance for more people to understand and listen to the severity of the issue that is happening right now, then I am more than happy to use my platform for this. So growing up in another country and coming back 3 years ago to the United States to school here, I basically had to relearn the environment and the culture. And one thing that I guess you can say is technically a bad culture that I've been seeing on the news and with people in my school talking about it is that police brutality was coming up a lot. And to be honest, I didn't understand the concept of police officers killing and brutalizing the people that they're supposed to protect just because of the color of their skin. But then it happened again and again and again and again. And now here we are with the case of George Floyd. So if you guys have not watched the news, although I feel like this particular thing has spread to the point where it's outside of the news, but George Floyd was arrested in Minneapolis for a counterfeited check. He was arrested by 4 police officers who proceeded to handcuff him and take him near the police car. I'm not gonna lie, I still don't understand why he wasn't taken into the police car and then taken to prison. But Derek Chauvin, I don't really know how to pronounce his name, and honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I don't really care. But the officer, one of the officers, decided to stop George Floyd from resisting arrest by putting his knee on George Floyd's neck for about 9 minutes. And George Floyd ended up basically losing consciousness, and because of that they had to call the ambulance. After that, he was later declared dead. So after the understandable backlash of the public, the officer in question that committed the act, if you want to say, Derek Chauvin, I don't really know the proper pronunciation of his name, was arrested. And at the time of this recording, he was charged for 3rd-degree murder and manslaughter. Now, I know this case is still ongoing, but to be honest, I'm pissed. And I'm pissed about a lot of things about this case. I'm pissed with the charges of Derek Chauvin. I'm pissed that the officers that were at the scene, the 3 other officers, have not been arrested. And I'm pissed that this could have been prevented. Like, it literally could have been prevented if people had just listened and held those other people in the past, those other officers in the past, accountable. So why am I pissed about the officer being charged with 3rd-degree murder, manslaughter? Well, after they said what he was charged with, I went online to actually see the difference between all three murders. And I just wanted to understand a little bit as to why he was that and whether it was the appropriate punishments. So, according to study.com, it says that first-degree murder involves calculation. Someone who commits murder in the first degree premeditates. So basically, this is someone who planned the murder. Second-degree murder doesn't involve that sort of calculation. A person who commits second-degree murder does not premeditate or deliberate before committing the act of murder. Nonetheless, the person intends to kill the victim. Okay? Now, third-degree murder basically means that the person did not intend to kill the person. So it basically means that they killed the person by accident, that they were intended, it was basically intended to harm, but not necessarily to kill. So it wasn't intended. So here's the thing. After seeing the video, which is clear evidence of what went down, still waiting for the body shots from the officers because I would love to see more, and I feel like that'll incriminate them a lot more. But seeing the video, hearing from the witnesses who heard George Floyd say that he could not breathe countless times, I think about 15 times or more, and begging the officer to take his knee off of his neck, I feel like saying that it's not intentional is an insult. Because it's like me. Let's just take the example of me. Me as a normal citizen, normal human being that's just out here walking, living my best life. I know the difference between harm and killing. That's just something that I know. And you want me to accept and understand that someone who trained 6 months or more, because there's 6 months in police academy and then there's the extra working on the field, 6 months or more training to learn how to properly restrict and protect citizens, that he did not know the difference between him harming George Floyd and him killing him. That's an insult. I'm sorry, that's just an insult. And the funny thing about this is they're probably trying to justify this by saying that George Floyd resisted arrest. This man was handcuffed and was held down by 4 armed cops. How much? I just want someone please help me to understand and wrap my head around this. How much resisting could this man do? Just how much resisting could this man do? Because I feel like these people think that this is some kind of Hulk. But he's not some kind of supernatural person who's going to break cuffs and kill all of these 4 cops without any gun or anything like that. He's just a black man. He's literally just a black man. And I feel like we should chill about this. A black man is not this supernatural thug. No. This is a human being that, honestly, there's no justifying what happened. There's no justifying what happened. There's absolutely, like, I just can't There's nothing to justify. He was not armed. He was handcuffed. There were 4 of you guys. So it wasn't as if he had, if you guys want to say he had 4 gangbanger friends near him. No, there was none of that. It was just him.
And when I say gangbanger friends, there's no justification, even if he had friends there. I'm just saying that a lot of the times they're trying to say, oh, well, he had his friends and we were scared. I'm just trying to say there was no one. But if there were people, they are the cops. They were supposed to properly know how to detain those other people.
The truth about this is that Derek Chauvin had the power. He had the power and he had the control. And he knew that he had that. And he used that power to intentionally, this is my opinion. If you guys want to think otherwise, then okay, he intentionally used that power to kill George Floyd. Now, apart from the charges of Derek Chauvin, why am I pissed at the fact that the 3 officers that were involved were not yet arrested? High key, I'm not even going to say low key, but high key, it's because they were accomplices. So, on Google, an accomplice is a person who helps another commit a crime. Okay? Sure. They didn't take a knife and stab him. Sure. They didn't take a gun and shoot him. Sure. They didn't even take their knee and put it against his neck like Derek Chauvin did. But they held him down and they watched. They could have easily prevented this if they had just said, hey, yo, talking to their officer friend, like, hey, yo, I don't think that's cool, man. Like, yo, that's not something that I've learned in the force. Like, maybe you shouldn't be doing this. You can see he's not resisting anymore. He's okay. It's all good now. You don't have to do that anymore. It's all good. That's all they had to say. Or even if he didn't want to listen, they could have just picked him up. There were 3 people, just 3, excuse me for saying people, 3 officers, law enforcement, looking at another law enforcement agent breaking the law. They could have literally just taken him and restrained him, the officer. They could have done that. But they chose not to. They chose not to. So yeah, they are accomplices. And to be honest, even though they didn't kill this man, they might as well be called the killers because they did not do nothing to help this person out. With all of the power that they were given, they did not do anything to help this person. Finally, why am I pissed that this could have been prevented? Because it could have been. I honestly think it could have been prevented. If the justice system had taken the other cases of the other police officers that were in similar situations like Derek Chauvin seriously and held them accountable, if people would stop thinking that Black Lives Matter, the Black Lives Matter movement, is to say that other lives do not matter. If people would get out of their heads and stop thinking that racism is not a thing. This is living proof of what racism is. And I feel like if they had taken those elements and they had taken this as seriously as it was in many previous cases, then maybe, just maybe, George Floyd would be with us today. Like, it could have, after all of the cases that I've seen, and especially all that has happened specifically through these past days, do I understand why a police officer would kill someone that they're supposed to protect just because the color of their skin? No. Honestly, I don't think I'll ever understand that. I really won't. I can never wrap my head around why that's even a thing. Like, I really can't. All I know and understand is that it's wrong, and it's against human, not black, not white, not Hispanic, human rights. It's against human rights. And I honestly hope that people who are watching this can understand that small bit that I understand, and try their best to support the people that are involved and that are affected by this. So I linked down below in the bio a few videos that I feel like explained the situation properly and helped spread the message. I also linked down below a petition that you can sign, and several foundations to help if you want to give a little something. And guys, if I'm not looking directly at the camera, it's because when I do a lot of thinking and a lot of just like trying to understand, I look all over the place to like just get the idea across. Anyways, guys, stay blessed, stay positive, stay safe. I'm praying for the families that are involved, George Floyd's family. I'm praying for the black community. I'm praying for whoever is watching this to understand where I'm coming from and realize the severity of the situation, and just share it, the message. Whatever video that you come across, just please share it so that everyone can understand from all around the world how severe this is. Yeah, I'll see you guys very soon. Yeah, bye.